if anything, that's a great literary device by the author because they have pissed me off so intensely that I must continue reading to see what happens. Heyo! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex. You're here at the Farm D Reads, and welcome to a weekend reading vlog. Started off strong with finishing a book. Let's just jump right into it. So I just finished The Shining by Stephen King because I have decided this year, and you guys are definitely going to just see it happen, that I'm going to read the entire Stephen King backlog. I thought I was a fan, but I was woefully mistaken. This is book number 5, not to be dramatic, and it's only January 18th. So I've read The Eyes of the Dragon, which is like a fairy tale that he wrote for his daughter. I've read the first 3 books in the Dark Tower series, which incredible. Some of his best writing. I'm buddy reading it with Allie. We took a break before The Wizard and Glass. I was having withdrawals, so I picked up The Shining by Stephen King when I was at the library last weekend, picking up my hold of The Drawing of the Three before I got a box set in, which I will show you guys because it's really pretty. But this feels like it's still too high up. Still, that's as low as it goes. So this is as good as it's gonna get. Okay, this was so good. So The Shining is about a young boy, Danny Torrance, and his dad Jack and his mom Wendy, who Jack gets a job working at the Overlook Hotel, which was filmed at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park in Colorado, which is like an hour and a half from where I live. So I obviously already was like looking up staying in room 217, which is the haunted Stephen King room. I cannot afford that at this current juncture in my life, but I am going to do it eventually. So this follows Jack's just absolute descent into madness because the hotel is obviously haunted. There is a spirit that is kind of the hotel, like the embodiment of the hotel itself. It's super, super evil. And I've seen the movie many times, but I hadn't read the book yet. And the book is better. The book is way better. I do love the film adaptation, but it is quite different and has become like an iconic representation of Stephen King's works and of this book. But the book is really different. Like the twins are not in the book. Wendy's hair is not dark black, it's blonde. Like there were just points that I thought were silly to change, and that's just on adapting books to movies. But weekend reading log starting off strong with a 5-star because this was absolutely 5 stars. And if you haven't read any of Stephen King, you're going to want to read this. Pet Sematary, Misery, Salem's Lot. Those are definitely my top 4 horror Stephen Kings. Now, if you're interested in some other Stephen King works, The Dark Tower is incredible as a fantasy series, and 11/22/63 also incredible as like more of a magical realism historical fiction. I don't know how the man does it. He's incredible. But yeah, I feel like I was really tired before I came up here, and now I have all this energy. Welcome to the reading vlog. It snowed, as you saw, pretty intensely overnight here in Denver. So I'm not doing anything this weekend, and I'm not going anywhere. And while we're here, let's just talk about some life updates. So I haven't been on here too much, as is obvious by the fact that I haven't posted anything in like a month. I do have quite a few episodes of my Book of the Month backlist challenge coming, so I will leave a couple of those episodes linked on the screen somewhere. Highly recommend that you watch because I go banana sandwiches typically when I read what the wheel picks for me. So very high quality entertainment, if I do say so myself. But I have just been going through it mentally the last few months. I feel like I've done a lot of growing and a lot of soul searching and, you know, bullshit like that. So I quit my job, and that's really all there is to it. I don't have much more to say about it other than that I just have other things like YouTube and Bookstagram and just my passion for reading in general that I would like to have more time and mental energy to focus on. Like, I love the community here on YouTube. I have been communicating with some of you guys, like becoming friends with people, and I just think that's so amazing. Especially, I'm about to be 33 in a few weeks, And it's so hard to make friends as an adult when you move to new places and you enter new phases of your life. Like, and I don't drink anymore. I will be sober from alcohol for 4 years in April of 2025. And, you know, having that, my social life really just Band-Aid ripped right off. It's taxing to lose that, you know, camaraderie that you have with your friends, like getting beers and going to the breweries and whatnot. But, you know, I have filled a lot of that time and space with books and my love for books and YouTube and, you know, letting some creative juices flow like through this like outlet for myself. So it turns out I don't really care enough to be a manager or be like the top dog, top earning pharmacist. I really enjoy being a pharmacist at the end of the day, but I just want to not be crying every day of pure stress and anxiety and exhaustion. So that's that. That's a life update. I already feel like just months of stress melting off of me. I don't know, I just feel better. And so, you know, that means that I probably made a good decision. So that's it. Where was I going with this? It's 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'm going to film through tomorrow evening and then try to start putting the footage together to post it early next week and just let's get this show back on the road because that's showbiz, baby. Really hoping that clipping this to my necklaces was not a huge mistake because I can hear it rattling and I'm concerned that the microphone is going to pick up the rattling as well. But that's for editing me to be concerned about. Okay, let's talk about reading plans. So I've got a lot going on. I do have an episode of the Book of the Month Backlist Challenge that I'm currently filming since the beginning of December. My chemical imbalance was imbalanced. Like I said, we've made moves and we're working on that. I have been working on Wind and Truth for too long. So what had happened is reading the first 4 Stormlight Archive books was like 4,500 pages of this part of the Cosmere. And then I was so excited that I got it done to read Wind and Truth like around the time that it came out. And now I'm just still absolutely love being in this world, but I am very burnt out on Brandon Sanderson right now. So I've been really reading a lot of Stephen King, enjoying that for myself. I am also reading Blood Over Bright Haven on my other, I got a new Kindle. We'll deep dive into that. So my husband got me a Kindle Colorsoft for Christmas and I love it. I know it's gotten a lot of bad reviews, but I don't have any of the issues that like other people were talking about. So we'll look at that later. But I think I'm going to continue reading Blood Over Bright Haven, perhaps pick up Wind and Truth at some point this weekend because I'm 25% in, so I have like 1,000 pages left probably. We need to do some work on that. And you can just come with me to rot. We're rotting. The laundry's all done. I do have a little bit of cleaning to do. I do need to vacuum desperately. We're watching football right now, as per usual. Chiefs and the Texans. So I'm going to go downstairs and we're going to read football, drink the rest of my cherry limeade, have a little bit of water, maybe a cup of coffee. No, I'm not having coffee now after cherry limeade. I also had 2 coffees earlier, so which I think by the rate at which I can hear myself talking, the caffeine is still coursing through my system. Okay, welcome. We're doing it. Reading vlog. It's the weekend. TTYL. Okay, bye. We're back. We're updating. It's Sunday. I did not get as much B-roll and updating as I wanted to yesterday vlog-wise, but I'm just gonna like not freak out about it because the thing that I do with these reading vlogs is I get really upset if it's not going exactly the way that I think I want it to, or I don't know. I'm a perfectionist. My husband thinks that I don't understand what the meaning of that word is. So maybe you guys can correct me or correct him better if I'm wrong or if he's wrong. But I just have, like, if I plan something out and then one little thing doesn't go according to plan, I scrap the whole thing. And one of the things that I think a reading vlog needs is a lot of updating and a lot of B-roll, but let's just go with it. Let's just see what footage comes out and let's smash it together. If you guys like this reading vlog so far, like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about books, but whatever, we're gonna do our best. So I am currently blocking, like fake blocking. Let me show you. So I have a ton of books basically on top of my tapestry crochet that I just finished the border and the baubles on. I do need to attach the dowel rod, which I haven't done before, but I'm bad at borders. So the baubles, I put too many baubles and it's curling up around the edges where the pattern, or excuse me, where the border is. I'm not like so upset about, I was not gonna frog my work at that point and redo it because I had to do, I already have frogged it and redone the border like 3 times already. So it is what it is and I'm not gonna pitch a fit, but I think this like ridiculous way that I'm blocking it hopefully will kind of like crispen up, flatten the edges a little bit. It is what it is, so I'm gonna hang it up and show you guys what the finished product looks like. But I haven't done any reading today. It has just been vibes. I showered, I skincared, I put my favorite t-shirt on for the day, and I ordered McDonald's, smashed that. It was delish. My husband is actually down in Colorado Springs visiting a friend of ours that's in town for work, and I was invited, but I never get the house to myself. So my plan for the day is to do this little update and tell you about the reads from yesterday. I think we already talked about The Shining, but I did finish Blood Over Brighthaven on my beautiful new Kindle Colorsoft. So we'll take a look at this bad boy. We'll talk about it, and then I'm gonna go downstairs and start a scary movie marathon. I'll show you guys what I picked up for reading after I finished my reads from yesterday, and we'll just continue vibing and vlogging, and whatever footage you get, and hopefully it's good. So I'm pretty sure I talked about The Shining yesterday, but I want to talk about Blood Over Brighthaven because I still am reeling from this book. So this is M.L. Wang's second book. Sword of Kaigen is the first, which I actually had it pulled up on my Kindle, had to flip back to this to show you guys, like pull the cover up. This book was incredible. It was an easy 5-star, 6-star, million-star. I wanted to cry, but I just couldn't produce the tears, but it brought me to that brink of emotion, the ending. If you've read this, good Lord. I don't want to do any spoilers, but very briefly, this is a very like dark academia, magic school, magical university. It's not young like Harry Potter wizardry, School of Wizardry vibes, but it is a magical institution and it's in the city of Tehran, which is enclosed in this giant bubble from the outskirts and the land of Quen, which is described as being a land of savages and cannibals. And the people that live there, the Quen people, suffer from the blight, which is this white light that literally shreds people apart. The first chapter of this starts out with a lot of violence, and I was like, sold. So we start there. Our main character is Tomlin. It's not Thomlin, it's Tomlin, I think. Tomlin is how you say it. But he's a Quen person, and we pick up with him trying to cross the border into Tehran. My battery's gonna die, so annoying. We're back, baby. Okay, the book starts off with meeting one of our main characters, Tomlin, who is of the Quen people, and he crosses over the crossing, which is like this very heavily blight is what they call the white light that kills people. Blight is really concentrated in this area, but if you can pass over the crossing, you enter through the border into Tehran. But even for Quen people, that's not a great deal because they are pretty much immediately enslaved into slave labor and are the very most bottom tier of the society's hierarchy in this city. We meet our other main character, Siona, who is she becomes the first female archmage, excuse me. And our story goes from there. The two of them end up working together on this project that she is assigned, and he is just the janitor in the magical institution, the magic center, but she ends up hiring him as her assistant, and the story just blasts off from there. I don't want to say too much because this really went in a direction that I wasn't seeing, and the ending had me so just out of my mind. The sacrifice and the character development in this, the relationship, it's also very high-handed in its commentary on misogyny and women in the workplace, and pretty much an allegory, I would say, for our current political situation that we're in. So you've been warned there. But I just loved everything about this. The magic system is incredibly unique. I think it's very accessible, and this is my new standard for standalone fantasy. If we had more standalone fantasy books that had the character arcs and the story development, the world building that this managed to capture in less than 500 pages, I would never read a fucking fantasy series ever again. This was so good. This is probably my favorite book of January so far, even though I have been reading a lot of good Stephen King, and I highly recommend. I cannot wait to read Sword of Pargin. That is probably going to be happening this week. My friend Olivia and I kind of accidentally ended up buddy reading this, and then we were like, should we just read Sword of Pargin? And it was a resounding yes. So, wow. 2 5 stars yesterday. So The Shining, absolutely a 5-star. I have goosebumps just talking about Blood Over Braidhaven and thinking about it. I am very excited to get a physical copy, and some of the special editions are stunning, broken binding. I need to get it for the shelves, but that's the update on some books that we did finish. Let's talk about a book that I started and a book that I might start. So I'm starting to worry about this Black Box of Doom. This is by Jason Pargin, and he is the best-selling author of John Dies at the End, which I don't think I have, but I have heard of it, and I think it's a movie as well. This is very interesting. So the premise is we have our main character, Abbott, who is just kind of like a down-on-his-luck 26-year-old that isn't really doing too much. He's driving his dad's car for Lyft so he can get out of the house and have a job, and he ends up picking up this girl who has a giant black box that he's not allowed to ask what's in it, and he's not allowed to open it either. So he can't know what's in it. He can't ask about it. It's like a don't ask, don't tell situation. And she hires him to drive her from California, I believe, to Washington, D.C. And as the story starts progressing, we start to learn more about where she's coming from, the situation that brought her to ending up with the box, how the box is related to a lot of other POVs that we're getting, because you do start with quite a number of different POVs. And look at these end papers with the little UFO. So good. I actually just noticed that UFO, so I don't know if that's going to play into it, but I'm 100 pages in, I think. I think I'm on chapter 8. Yeah. So I am on chapter 8. I'm 108 pages in. I may finish this today, 377. So I have 300 pages to go. I don't know if I'll finish it today, but I am very interested. It's very funny. It's very comical. It's touted as a dark comedic thriller. I wouldn't say it's a thriller. It's very slow burn so far, but there are puzzle pieces that are starting to come together, which I do find very interesting and fun with this type of a read. So keep y'all posted on that. I think that will be a really good one to watch. I think that will be a really good one to read while I watch some scary movies today. So the other one that I picked up is To Poison a King by S.G. Prince. And all I know is that this is Persephone retelling, perhaps. Danny's barking at something outside. It's fine. Yeah, I don't really know too. Dan, he's an angry elf. You okay? Come here. It's okay. Come. You're okay. Lay down. Relax. I picked up To Poison a King by S.G. Prince. I do not know a ton about it other than it is a romantasy. Hey, it's okay. Nothing did matter you when you died. It is a romantasy, and Allie had sent me this 2 years ago, and Blood Over Brighthaven is not a fantasy romance. It does have a small tinge of romance, but it is much more heavy-handed in its analysis of politics and the patriarchy and like this internal struggle that we have with our characters and then our two main characters with each other. Had me, certain lines and like just the emotions that Tomlin was feeling had me in a mood for a fantasy romance. So I think this cover is beautiful. It's a nice floppy paperback. I think this is an indie published book, so which I love. So I might pick this up. I don't know. I'm also still reading Wind and Truth, which we may never escape that. And then I'm also reading I'm also reading my book of the month book for the current episode that I'm filming, which has taken like almost 3 months to film because I've had a really rough. It's just been rough. I know that it's been rough for all of us. So if you're going through it, I'm with you. Talk to me, slide in my DMs. I am such an advocate for mental health. Take your meds, see a doctor, see a therapist. Some of those things I'm going to take into consideration for 2025, #therapy. So, just let me know how y'all are doing. I'm doing better. I was not feeling good for a while, but I feel a lot better. So hopefully that's coming through on camera. I think I'm going to have some hopefully exciting changes coming in 2025. I'm keeping the positivity. It is January 19th, so we know what tomorrow is. I'm going to go escape in some book worlds and watch some comfort horror movies or some new ones, and I will update in a little bit. Okay? TTYL. Hi. So my day alone has been just wondrous. Sometimes you need that even when you're in like a very happy and healthy relationship. You need your alone time. So me and the children have just been watching football and scary movies. I vacuumed, including my stairs, which were nasty. I had to empty my vacuum 3 times because it was slam full of hair. But anyway, I'm going to bring my mic. I'm going to grab my mic here. So I'm making a grilled cheese and a sliced apple for dinner because I didn't do my pickup at the grocery store in enough time for it to be ready to pick up today. So me or my husband is going to have to just get it tomorrow, which is fine. I can eat grilled cheese, apple. I've got goldfish. I got Frosted Flakes. I got Chips Ahoy. I have vegetables. I might eat one, but I also might not. So I needed to come on and discuss the character development I'm starting to worry about the Black Box of Doom. So Abbott is our male main character. He is the Lyft driver that got duped into bringing the bad girl with her black box. That the consensus on Reddit, because this is also a mixed media book, which I do enjoy. So there's snippets of the Reddit subreddits that are popping up because Abbott does Twitch streaming online. So his friends on the internet have now gone to the Reddit's boards to try and figure out the mystery. They're did he get kidnapped? Is he in on it? Is it Russia? Because now they're the theories are getting crazy. So like there's a dead alien body in the box. The general consensus seems to be nuclear something or other, because it's also going to DC. So as you can imagine, things are getting pretty hectic. Now, the issue that I'm having, hold please, I'm going to keep talking. The issue, ASMR, a cheese bag. I'll probably cut this out. I'm being redonkulous. The issue that I'm having with Abbott is he started out as a very sympathetic character. Like, I wanted him to have this, not necessarily redemption arc, but like be the hero. I think I wanted him to be the hero because he's described as like just a very lethargic 26-year-old, like his only job is lift. Not that there's anything wrong with your only job being lift, but he just seems very apathetic about all of it, okay? And he's very sympathetic as a character. He was up until I'm about 50%, and we have gone into a direction where he's actually just this like flaming incel, and I hate him now. And I don't know if the author is like trying to throw me off on purpose. Like he's still gonna get his hero story at the end, because the female main character, who goes by Ether, if that's not a hacker ass name that I've ever heard, I mean, my goodness. So Ether listens to his bullshit, his incel, the patriarchy is suffering bullshit. I'm sitting there trying to enjoy my night, and I gotta read this, and now I'm all in a tizzy, as you can see. So I had to come make my grilled cheese and have an apple and a cookie, get my blood sugar up, blood pressure down. But I am so hyped up about it because I am interested to see how his character ends up developing. Like, is he going to end up kind of taking, like he is portrayed as the most forefront main character, even though we do have a lot of POVs. So I'm just interested to see how things are going to go. And if anything, that's a great literary device by the author, because they have pissed me off so intensely that I must continue reading to see what happens. That's the update. We're going to just do some nice normal B-roll of cooking a nice grilled cheese sandwich now. Okay, enjoy that part. We're back again. Oh, I'm back again because I'm done with my grilled cheese. It was chef's kiss, barbecue sauce, apple, 2 cookies. Am I going to bring more cookies when I go to bed? Hell yeah, brother. I am pretty much exactly halfway. And can I just say that we have had an even crazier new reveal. So we have now entered, or I just entered into getting Ether's character reveal and like a little bit of her backstory. And this is start to finish like a very satirical commentary on modern day, right? There's trolls, there's internet trolls and incels and subreddits and text messages and all of the bullshit, right? and she was an influencer in this world, and like the way that she was canceled was the craziest shit that I've ever heard. And honestly, she might be the redemption arc and Abbott ends up being the piece of shit. I really don't know. It could go so many ways in this last chunk. And I find myself not able to put it down. So I may just finish tonight and then try to edit this video real quick to post it tomorrow, January 20th, because I think y'all are going to need some entertainment and hopefully I'm providing. But yeah, I am very cozy. My husband's still out. So I think I'm just going to like settle in and continue reading this insane book and watching the football game. The Ravens are losing, which is unfortunate. I do like the Bills. They were really good this year, but our friend that my husband is down visiting is a Ravens fan, so that's why we're rooting for them. My team is the Patriots, and they're just, good Lord, if they ever make a playoff. Again, that would be a blessing from Cthulhu himself, or herself, themselves. Holy cannoli. I'll be back to either wrap up this video or probably come back with some crazy thoughts about this book. But I will say it makes me want to pick up John Dies at the End, for sure. I think this author has a very funny way of commentating on things that, you know, we experience in our day-to-day lives in the society. And his character writing is very good. Like in 200 and some odd pages, we've gotten quite a few POVs, maybe like 6 or 7. And I feel like I know all of my characters well. And I have thoughts about where they've come from, what they're doing now, where they're going, etc., etc. So I'm love loving. I am going to probably finish this and then pet some cats and see where the night takes me. Hi, howdy, hello. Full disclaimer, it's actually Monday, but I was too tired to do an update last night. But I did finish another book. So that's 3 books in one weekend. I'm proud. I'm very proud of that. So I did finish. I'm starting to worry about The Black Box of Doom by Jason Pargin. Pargin? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was pretty good. I gave it 3 stars. It felt kind of like a 3.5, I would say, because it is a really unique plot line and it is a very interesting commentary on a lot of things that we're dealing with right now, right? Like social media, TikTok bans are mentioned in this. So it's very much in your face with the satire on the current state of affairs. But I think what lost me is that the ending felt too rushed for how much buildup we had. And although the like, not necessarily reveals, but kind of the reveals of like what's in the box and why Ether was even hired to bring it to this guy, I thought was interesting, but it wasn't hashed out enough. So then I didn't really give a shit by the end. Also, it's like almost 400 pages, which I think is a little bit long for the subject material because it only goes over like 4 days of time. So this is very slow burn. For it to be touted as a thriller, I disagree heavily, but I did like it. So 3.5, and I definitely still want to pick up John Dies at the End. If you've read that or you've seen the movie, please let me know down below. Like, I would like to talk about it. Or if you've read this, I would like to talk about it. It came out in October. I haven't really seen anyone reading it or anything about it. The cover is really, really cool. I'm glad I borrowed it from my library though, because I would not ever reread this. And that's fine. That's showbiz, baby. So thank you so much. We're at the end of the vlog. Thank you if you watched this long. Probably only gonna be like a 20-minute vlog, but whatever. We're doing our best out here. Okay. It's January 20th, 2025. I need to go eat my feelings. And I hope wherever you guys are, if you're in the United States and you feel sad today, just know that there's a lot of people that are in the same boat as you, and we just have to keep moving forward, and that's all there is to it. So hopefully this brought you some joy, some entertainment, some laughs, some gigs, some gigglies, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe if you want. Okay, bye!